Okay, your topic tonight is going to be the Glorious March to Liberty, the African American contributions in the Civil War. What kind of stories have you selected? You're going to be talking about personal stories, I gather, right?
Well, we're going to tell the story of how they fit into the Union war effort, with the paramount objective being to preserve the Union. Well, how did they get involved in the fight? What did they contribute to the fight? Soldiers, sailors, spies, guides, scouts, nurses. So we'll cover a lot of various duties during the war that African Americans performed. Well, good evening. Good evening. And notwithstanding appearances, I did spend 21 years in the Marine Corps.
You're curator of the African American Civil War Museum. Tell me a little bit about that. I've not been there.
Well, we have a memorial and museum about 1 mile north of the White House in the Greater U Street corridor. Our statue is called the Spirit of Freedom, and on the walls behind our statue, we have the 209,145 names of all the soldiers who were officially brought into the Bureau of United States Colored Troops. We also have a sailor on our memorial, but we have no sailors' names on our Wall of Honor. The Navy was integrated during the Civil War, making it rather difficult to identify the men of our descent who served in the U.S. Navy. In our museum, our current exhibit is entitled Glorious March to Liberty, Civil War to Civil Rights. In our exhibit, we do not quote any scholars. If you were not there in the making of the history, you do not get a quote in our exhibit. We only quote history makers. So to tell this story, we work with the primary sources, trying to tell this story that has been one of the best kept secrets in American history. And that's the real challenge of telling this story. To tell it truthfully to well-educated Americans is to tell a story that sounds almost unbelievable. We've been taught that President Lincoln simply freed the slaves with the Emancipation Proclamation, instead of being taught that the proclamation had to be enforced, and what President Lincoln does with his proclamation is make it legal for men of African descent to join the Federal Army and make it legal for them to free themselves if they help accomplish the paramount objective of the war, which was to preserve the Union.